Hey guys, it is Coasters and Things here today, and after the success of my What Six Flags Parks Could Receive a Coaster in 2020 video, I decided to do one for Cedar Fair as well. Of course, we know little to nothing about Cedar Fair in 2020 yet. Now, I am leaving out Gilroy Gardens because they're not a park based on the rides. So let's get into this. Starting things off with Cedar Point, this is a toss-up. In 2020, it will be Cedar Point's 150th anniversary, so they might or might not add a coaster in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't add a coaster, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they did, because Cedar Point, after all, is the roller coaster capital of the world. They're known for coasters. I'm going to say, though, that they don't get a coaster in 2020 because Kings Island, we know, is getting a coaster in 2020. Kings Island and Cedar Point generally don't both add a coaster the same year, and we know Kings Island is receiving a coaster in 2020, which will be replacing their former Vekoma Flying Dutchman, Firehawk. I'm still upset about Firehawk getting scrapped, but disregarding that, we know Kings Island has a contract with B&M, and I can think of two possible options, a Giga Coaster and a Wing Coaster. I would definitely like to see the Giga Coaster more. I feel like the odds out of 10 are 9-1 in favor of the Giga. After the success of Fury 325, you would think they would add in a B&M Giga at Kings Island, especially since every other major Cedar Fair park has a Giga Coaster. Moving on to Carowinds, they're definitely not going to be getting a coaster in 2020. They're getting Copperhead Strike this year, which is their largest investment ever. They're going to wait at least a few years before their next coaster is added. Canada's Wonderland also won't be getting a coaster in 2020. They're receiving Yukon Stryker this year, which is the world's largest dive coaster. Next is King's Dominion. I'm kind of doubting that they'll receive a coaster because Cedar Fair likes to spread out their roller coasters, and they just got Twisted Timbers recently, so I'm saying maybe 2022 for King's Dominion. Knott's Berry Farm just got Hang Time, so they're absolutely not going to get a new coaster anytime soon. Knott's is landlocked, so they'd have to take out a ride to put in a new one. Remember, they had to take out their former Vekoma Boomerang to add in Hang Time, so no new coaster for Knott's. And north of Knott's is California's Great America. They've indirectly confirmed the addition of a hypercoaster. However, we're pretty sure their plans got pushed back a year, so it probably won't be 2020 for the Hyper for CGA. Worlds of Fun is up next, and I do think that this park actually will receive a coaster in 2020. I realize that's a bit far-fetched, however, I feel like 2020, Cedar Fair will add in a launch coaster by Intamin at Worlds of Fun. Now, I'm not talking an Accelerator coaster here. The Accelerator models are outdated in terms of technology. This would use a modern LSM launch with probably a top hat and some banked turns like Accelerator at Knott's. Just LSM and not LIM, obviously. Dorney Park in Pennsylvania removed Stinger in 2017, which was their former Vekoma Invertigo coaster. So I'm going to say in 2020, they receive a brand new wooden coaster from GCI. It's exactly what they need if Cedar Fair has been paying any attention to their smaller parks. Second to last is Valley Fair in Minnesota, and instead of a coaster, I'm predicting that actually in this year, 2019, that they're going to remove their aerodynamics coaster, Excalibur, and upgrade their water park in 2020. Their water park is in desperate need of an update. I feel like a new coaster, though, could be just a few years away for Valley Fair. So, lastly is Michigan's Adventure. Michigan's Adventure's last coaster was a used Vekoma SLC, so their last new coaster was in 1999. They're not expected to get anything big at all, much less a coaster. I'm predicting a new Blade of Grass for Michigan's Adventure in 2020. So that is all the Cedar Fair parks in the chain. Comment below what parks you think will get a new coaster in 2020. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and this is Coasters and Things signing off.